Hey all, welcome back to Awful Stories. I'm Matt, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe for daily videos. The first story we're going to cover is titled, Should I Warn My Coworker That He is Alienating Himself Socially? This was posted to the relationship subreddit by a user named Fermi Paradox. I work in a project-based profession. The projects take anywhere from 6 months to several years, and you're typically working with the same small group for the entire duration. As a natural consequence of working closely with the same few people, friendships usually form. We'll all take lunch together sometimes, or go for drinks after work, that kind of thing. We have an especially copacetic group on my current project. We've been working together for 6 months, and we go out socially. We talk and joke around during the day. We're not friends, but it's a tight knit group as coworkers go. We have one coworker who is alienating himself from the group, and I feel awful because he doesn't seem to be aware of it. He's losing the good faith and camaraderie of everyone in the office, and he doesn't seem to understand why it's happening. I can see that it's upsetting to him, and it's unpleasant for me too. That being said, I don't know him well at all, and I feel uncomfortable approaching him about the issue. He's an overall nice guy and has some excellent qualities, but they're overshadowed by his tone-deaf conduct. The result is the entire team is spending less time together because we wouldn't host an event with everyone except him. But most people also can't stand to be around him more than they have to. Should I say something to him? And if so, what should I say? His behaviors include, but aren't limited to, acts like he's the most experienced despite being one of the least, constantly interrupts or gives unsolicited advice to other specialties, minimizes coworkers' complaints. When someone said, "The client keeps calling me on weekends," he replied, "Maybe work harder so they won't need to." Gets angry if anyone uses a nickname version of his very common name, even from people who barely know him. Went to a bar with us and other teams, then spent the whole night lecturing everyone about how he doesn't drink because he's healthier and has more willpower. Proudly and conspicuously tattled on coworkers for bending the dress code when no clients were around, leading to a company-wide memo. Kat Devan said, "The only thing I could see doing is questioning his inappropriate behavior in the moment. Address his interrupting. Make sure the person who was interrupted gets to finish their thought, and question whether he thinks an unhelpful suggestion is actually helpful, etc. Calling out behavior that shouldn't be happening may make him see that it's unpleasant, or at least give everyone else permission to call out his inappropriateness as well." Full Metal Feminist said, "No, I did this once with the office nightmare. Everyone hated her. People from other departments were constantly asking us, what the heck is her problem? Customers were constantly complaining to us about her rudeness. All it did was convince her that I was out to get her, and it led to a year-long interpersonal war. You're not his supervisor. You don't get paid to fix problems like this. And no offense, but you're not qualified to. He won't want to hear your criticism of his poor behavior. Nothing good will come of you having this conversation with him." The second story for today is titled, "My Sister is Probably the Reason I Have This Fetish and I Don't Know What to Think About It." This was made in the True Off My Chest subreddit by a user named OK Passenger. My sister is 4 years older than me. When I was younger, she always used to pin me down and tickle me. As far as I know, this is a regular sibling thing for everyone, and I hated it like normal people do. Then I took this hatred out on my friends in kindergarten by tickling them. I remember having a friend group where we all took turns tickling each other. Eventually, my sister stopped doing this to me. I stopped doing it too. But the hopeless feeling when someone pinned me down and tickled me had stuck in my mind. My hatred for tickling eventually turned into curiosity, then into longing. I once told someone that tickling is my favorite thing in the world, but there was no one to do it to me. Then came puberty and the development of sexual urges. I realized I had this fetish, but it took me longer to realize that if my sister hadn't tickled me, I wouldn't have it at all. So yeah, that's basically it. This kind of feels disgusting to think about, and I don't know if this is normal in the realm of fetishes. I'll probably judge myself for this until the day I die. Paleontologist commented, "From what I've seen, most fetishes have a basis in childhood environments, so I don't think it's too abnormal. It's just something that imprinted on you differently than it did for most people." Cadaver Dog said, "If it makes you feel any better, everyone I've known who has a foot fetish grew up giving their mother foot massages. Freud might have been onto something here." This third and final story is titled, "My Little Brother is Taking Me Being Away at College Really Hard," and was also posted in the relationship subreddit by a user named Unique Name. I am an 18-year-old guy and just started college this fall at an in-state university 4 hours away. I have a little brother who is 14. I visited home for the first time since starting college this past weekend. Saturday night, he came into my room after I was already in bed and asked if he could sleep with me that night. I thought it was a strange request, but I said, okay. He got into bed, and I asked if everything was okay. He started crying and said he had missed me a lot. He told me he did not want me to go back and leave him all alone. He apologized if he had ever been mean to me, but said I was like his best friend and he loved me a lot, even though he never really told me that. He said he did not want to grow up and go through high school without me. He felt I was moving on without him and said it was quiet and boring at home with just our parents, and that they did not understand him the way I do. I tried to console him and said we could talk a lot and that I would visit, but he said it would never be the same again. He sobbed, scooted closer to me, and hugged me tightly. Eventually, he fell asleep, still holding on to me. I did not sleep well because he was all up in my space, but I tried not to disturb him. The next morning, I got up while he was still asleep. As I was leaving the room, he said he was sorry for bothering me the night before. I told him it was okay. He asked me not to tell our mom and dad about it. I asked why not, and he said he was fine and did not want anyone making a big deal about it. I promised I would not tell. Later, our mom mentioned that she had noticed my brother was in my room and asked if everything was okay. I said yes, that we were just catching up and he had fallen asleep, so I did not want to disturb him. She seemed to accept that. I left Sunday afternoon. My brother was playing a video game when I left and hardly acknowledged me. I have tried to check in more with texts and calls, but he has been slow to respond. I'm not sure what to do. Should I tell my parents? Should I come home more often? I also have a little brother that I care so deeply for, and this post resonates with me a lot. Separation anxiety isn't just for little kids. It can hit older kids and teens hard too, especially when a sibling they rely on suddenly seems farther away. OP's brother's feelings of loneliness, missing the close companionship they once shared, and even his reluctance to tell their parents because he doesn't want a big deal. It's understandable that OP feels torn, but the key here is balance. Visiting home more often can help, but it also depends on what fits OP's schedule and emotional needs. I still think OP handled it great, and being more proactive with texting and calling will be the right move here. Riota said, when I went away to college, my little brother, who is 2 years younger, pulled me aside during move in, burst into tears, and begged me not to leave him. Our home life was awful, so there were some important mitigating circumstances. But I think that, in general, as a society, we tend not to acknowledge how hard it can be for younger siblings when their older sibling leaves home. It is such a major life change for them, and they have no control over it. It is just something that happens to them. I think you handled it really well with your brother. It is okay and natural for him to grieve and to express his pain to you. It is important for you to keep reaching out to him and staying in contact, and maybe also plan once or twice a semester to take him out to do something special, just the two of you. However, I do not think you should tell your parents unless you begin to fear for his safety. He has trusted you with his feelings and his pain, and you need to honor that trust. Screwlu said, tough one. I cannot know what the right thing to do is. Generally, I do not go behind people's backs unless I am worried about their safety. While your brother is very sad and grieving the fact that his life is changing forever, you no longer living at home, I do not hear anything about suicide or self-harm. It is your call, but I would not tell unless he wanted me to. I really relate. Same age gap, older brother. I came back from a school event in October and realized he was not there to talk to about it, and I just sobbed and sobbed. Eventually, I was okay. I had to grieve a chapter of my life being over forever. My brother and I are close, but that chapter, us living together as kids, is gone forever. And that is a sad thing for siblings who are actually close, no matter how normal it is.